Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable to the educators, chairperson, and also the timekeeper. I am Alhik Maturridho from the Senior High School to Sumatera. I am the first speaker from the government team with our motion today. This House believes that scholarship should only be granted on the basis of financial necessity. So before that, let me explain what is the motion today means. This House believes that scholarship should only be granted on the basis of financial necessity, means that we as the government give award to the people who inadequate and help them to finance their education. And in the status quo, we can see right now that education is very important things that the government need to give serious attention to it. And if we can see, not all people can get a proper education, especially people in isolated and rural area. Some people in isolated or rural area, they still can get a proper education, although they are smart and very potential in academic or unacademic. They have potential to can be a qualified human resource, and of course we don't want to waste it, ladies and gentlemen. We must be developing that potential in academic or unacademic because it for country itself, ladies and gentlemen. And now the problem is there are injustice in this system right now. People who have an adequate amount to get a scholarship, but the poor people didn't get the scholarship, ladies and gentlemen. The scholarship is more useful and helpful to the poor people, ladies and gentlemen, than educate people. That's why we as the government totally agree with our motion today, that is, scholarship should only be granted on the basis of financial necessity, ladies and gentlemen. And we from the government team give up some mechanism to our motion today, that is, first, we want to find the students who have a potential in academic or unacademic, especially in the rural isolated area or rural area, and then we will provide them a facility. We provide them financial to can continue their education and to get a better and proper education, ladies and gentlemen. And our goals today, we as the government want to leveling the education in Indonesia, ladies and gentlemen. So before that, let's go to my argument. First, why we as the government want to the scholarship should only be granted on the basis of the financial necessity, ladies and gentlemen. First, we want to leveling the educational, especially in Indonesia, ladies and gentlemen. As we know that in Indonesia itself, the educational is not yet leveling, ladies and gentlemen. We can see there is still social imbalance in there, ladies and gentlemen. We can see that the poor people or inadequate people, they who have a potential, who have a good human resource, they can develop that because there is a barrier to get that. There is a financial, ladies and gentlemen. And if we see in the other side, the people who educate, they can afford that, ladies and gentlemen. And in some sense, in the system, the government still give their scholarship even if they are educated, ladies and gentlemen. And there are some example of social imbalance in the system now, ladies and gentlemen. And why we need to do this leveling of the education, ladies and gentlemen? If we think there are many people, especially in rural area or isolated area, the way of they think is still left behind, ladies and gentlemen. Example, they think that because of they can continue their education, they choose to do early marriage, ladies and gentlemen, and that is a wrong thing to do because they are still in teenage age, ladies and gentlemen. And also, if they do not continue their education, that can be a big problem, and that can make Another problem is, ladies and gentlemen, example like criminality. They don't know that the bad thing and the good thing, ladies and gentlemen. And why this is justified right now, ladies and gentlemen? Because they can a good education without think about the finance, ladies and gentlemen. If we apply this policy, the people inadequate, they can continue their education, they can improve their performance, they can improve their skills, and without think about finance, ladies and gentlemen. And also, why this is urgent right now, ladies and gentlemen, as we know that the government wants to do a mental revolution, ladies and gentlemen, and also the government wants to build the character of students to be a good students and make a qualified students, ladies and gentlemen. As we know that President of Indonesia, Mr. Joko Widodo itself mentioned that our nation mission today is to build a good character of students and also to do a mental revolution, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why this policy or this motion today is very urgent and very justified, ladies and gentlemen. The government want this mission is complete, ladies and gentlemen. They want to make the student in Indonesian, especially in Indonesian, to be a good student. We have a good character and also good mental, ladies and gentlemen, who can compete inside Indonesian and also outside Indonesia, ladies and gentlemen. That's why the government choose this to be a mission of nation, ladies and gentlemen. The government want to try to make a qualified student, ladies and gentlemen, and also the government wants to improve the human resource, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we as a government very agree with our motion today. That is, we want to the scholarship itself should only be granted on the basis of financial necessity, ladies and gentlemen. Like I mentioned before, that they want to leveling. One of my argument that is want to leveling the educational, especially in Indonesia, ladies and gentlemen. One of the company that do this program is PPI. There is Pendidikan Pemuda Indonesia that wants to give scholarship to an educated student, ladies and gentlemen. And they hope this program can make inadequate students more focused to study and maximize their potential, and that they and also they can maximize their skills in other sector, ladies and gentlemen. And also they can also compete in inside Indonesia and also in outside Indonesia, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I am the government team very agree with our motion today, ladies and gentlemen. That's all for me. Thank you.